Hello, everybody. This is Marcus Pentzek, Chief SEO Consultant with Searchmetrics. And today we're going to present you the Research Cloud area of the suite. With me is Maayan Ben David. She's the product manager of the Research Cloud for about 1.5 years now. And maybe you do a little introduction of yourself. Hi, Maayan.
Yes, thank you, Marcus. Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Maayan. I'm the product owner for Research Cloud. And as Marcus said, in the past year, we've been releasing quite a bit of new features. And today we hope to show you as many as possible in the 1 hour we have. So why don't we jump through it?
Sure. Let me just share my screen so we can see the suite in a sense. There it's loading. And here we go. Yeah,
so why don't we start with the first thing we did? About a year ago, we introduced a new overview page to Research Cloud to make the tool more simple for you as users, and the look and feel is much better. We can take an example of bestbuy.com. We have a lot of search engines, 32 in number, that you can switch between. I think for today's example, we will use US.
Yes. So here we go.
Cool. So this is the overview page. If you click on the little arrows, you can see some main KPIs for bestbuy.com. For example, how many subdomains, URLs, and directories the domain has. On the right upper corner, with one click, you can compare the domain. You will get a list from us of the organic competitors based, exactly that. That's based on the keyword set that Best Buy is ranking for. Maybe we will get to that later.
So if you didn't know Best Buy before, you can easily see it's an e-commerce because there's Amazon, Walmart, eBay.
Yeah. We also have a really good new formula, Marcus. I don't know if you know, to exclude all very big domains. So we actually try to show relevant competitors based on more or less the same keyword base.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is pretty cool. Yeah. And here in this big KPI box, you can see a few interesting things just at a glance. In the middle, you can see the desktop visibility versus the mobile visibility, which here makes sense. The 4% in the middle is the difference between the two, which seems to be a healthy difference since Best Buy probably have.
Yeah, I think so. They're a responsive website, and if they weren't responsive or wouldn't have a mobile website, we probably would see a much bigger difference here.
Exactly. On the left-hand side, you can see the organic rank. The number there is basically the position of Best Buy in between 100,000 other domains within the US.
Okay. So this is probably like a best list. So number 1 is the very best, and number 10,000 is the least best. Is that correct?
Yes, you got that right. So 62 is better than 61.
Okay.
It's better than 63, sorry.
Sure.
And if you click on it, on the organic rank box, you can also see the historical trend for Best Buy. And you can see that.
Losing.
Yeah. So the rank is going down in the last 6 months.
This is not the SEO visibility, right? This is just the rank going down. Does it correlate with the SEO visibility usually?
Exactly. That's the rank going down, and it's somehow correlated because the rank is obviously one of the things we take into account in the SEO visibility.
Okay.
Yeah, and on the right side, you simply see the paid visibility. If you can scroll a bit up again.
Oh, sorry.
Marcos, please.
Yeah.
Thank you. So then that's for the Google AdWords. It's basically the same. You see, instead of the organic positioning, the paid positioning for bestbuy.com. Below that, you have two boxes. The left is the top 5 search engine countries for Best Buy, which could be very interesting. Sometimes it's surprising to see that you're doing really good in a country you didn't expect. And if you click on one of the icons, the search engine for the whole Research Cloud will update automatically.
Okay, so I'm now in Canada for bestbuy.com. It looks like a high number, but actually it's much smaller than for US, right? Because bestbuy.com is only a US website, and for Canada and other countries like Mexico, they have other domains.
That's correct, Marcos. So it's like you do see the countries they rank in, but you can obviously see that the US is the top country for Best Buy.
Okay, cool. And on the right-hand side?
On the right-hand side, you see a SERP feature list, but this SERP feature list is for the keyword set that Best Buy is ranking for. So basically, you can consider it as the market top SERP feature. And when you want to do an analysis, which we will see later on, you can click on one of the SERP features and jump to a detailed page.
Okay, I won't do it now because we're looking into it later. Just from my perspective as an SEO, this is already a first hint on what I should be focusing on when I'm doing SEO. So on my whole keyword set of bestbuy.com, I can see that 79% of the SERPs will have a video in it. So this is something that Google thinks is relevant for my niche. And this should be something that I should focus on.
Exactly. And as a next step, you should look if you're actually taking part of that SERP feature.
Okay, so following now is the organic visibility, which is below here, but I usually like to go on the organic rankings page where I can see it right away in the beginning here as well. May I explain SEO visibility for the audience?
Yes,
or do you want to?
Ahead.
Okay, so the SEO visibility is a KPI that we are collecting week by week. We're crawling a lot of keywords. This should be much more than 1 million for each market. We're checking the rankings for these keywords. We're checking which domains are ranking in different positions. We're looking at the search volume, at the CTR at the different positions, and from there we're calculating on how probably you will be seen in the SERPs. So being seen as visibility. So this is what we're talking about when we're talking about organic visibility. The higher the number, the more you're seen in the SERPs.
Exactly. And on the right-hand side, you have, again, the suggested organic competitors, which actually could be very interesting to play with. Or you can add your own desired competitor in the search box.
Let's try this. No. See? Oh, there it is. Oh, this is interesting, actually.
Wow.
So this is around May 3rd and to May 10th and 17th. Best Buy is losing, and at the same time, Target.com is winning. For May...
It looks like there is a Google update there.
Yeah, exactly. For the beginning of May, there was May core update, and we can see it here in the tooltip. May 2020 core update, officially Google update that affected various websites. And there's a link also to our blog post where we wrote about some of the background information on this update. Yeah,
So
that's actually a good case.
Exactly.
I like it. I like it. Cool. So all of these dots are Google updates, right? We can click here where Best Buy has won. So in September 19, core update, they won some SEO visibility. We can see it here. It was plus 11, and now they lost. Okay.
Exactly. You can see it pretty easily with that click on the top left for Google Updates. And then you can drill down into later pages to make deeper optimization. I think it makes sense to have a look first for the winner-loser page. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so as well. Let's look at the date. So this is around 10th of May. Let's jump into the winners and loser keywords. They're here. I just prepared it in the top. And already it drilled down to the 10th of May. But we can also do it very easily, right? When we're scrolling up.
Yeah. If you scroll up, you can see a chart, and you can very easily see, together with the visibility trend we just saw, that the red bars are the loser keywords, and around that date, bestbuy.com had much more loser keywords than winning. And if you click on that bar on that date, then the table below will update automatically to this date. And we can have a look at the keywords which lost.
Okay, and these are quite some interesting keywords, like keyboard lost from position 1, fell down 3 positions to 4, hotspot from 1 to 5, tripod from 6 to 31. But there's one interesting here. It really went out. Out means out of the top 50, I think.
Exactly. So it's not ranking anymore in the top 50 results.
Okay, so this is the keyword turntable. And it lost a traffic index of 10,088. What does traffic index mean in this case?
So traffic index is basically the assumed number of clicks to a site for this specific keyword. It's a calculation that we're doing based on a few KPIs, for example, search volume, search intent, click-through rate, and organic keyword position.
Okay, cool. But looking at the keywords that you have won or lost is just one perspective into analyzing what happened during a Google update or during a loss of things. To look from another perspective, we can jump to directories. Do you want to go there?
Exactly. So here you can have a look at a specific keyword, but we can have many different angles to understand which. And in the directory page, which is actually another very new page, we can first see another visibility chart, but here it's for the top directories, and you can see the trend. So who are the top directories for bestbuy.com and what happened to them in the last few months? And then if we scroll a little bit down, there is a completely new section of a preview, which makes it very, very simple to see which section exactly lost.
When we're talking about directories, we usually mean directories within the URL. So whenever there is a slash, there is a new directory starting. And this is how it works on your computer when you're going from directory to directory, and this is how it works in the URL as well. And if a website is well structured with the URLs, you can see the directories here. So this is right that the directory of site slash has lost 70,000 in visibility, right? This is a lot.
You can also see the trend on the side.
Yeah.
And that's quite a lot. That's true.
Okay. If we're clicking in here, we can open the directory and see the subdirectories. So, okay. So not all the subdirectories within site have lost. If we look at site electronics, they even won 4,500. The shop area lost 8,000, and the brands have won 1,000. So one to look into probably is the shop area, I would say.
Sure.
Okay.
Interesting to see the specific section over the shop.
Yeah. So actually looking into all those keywords that lost during within the directory of site/shop would be something that I should focus on into looking what happened. That's really cool. Okay, but it doesn't always mean that I really made something wrong or that I messed up or that there was a Google update pushing me down when I'm losing SEO visibility. It could also mean that Google simply changed the way they're showing the SERP, so that they introduce a new SERP feature, or that they're shifting SERP features into different directions, so adding some related questions in the top, pushing me down. So it's not always another website winning. For this, we also got a tool, correct?
Yes. So here we can check something that is specifically for this domain. But if we want to check for Google, we can jump to the SERP feature section, which is an interesting one. And we can have a look. Maybe something was changed in a SERP feature, or we have some SERP features we're not optimizing for while the rest of the market is. Here, for example, for bestbuy.com, there are a lot of SERP features that they're not optimized for, but I would have a look at feature snippet, for example, which is growing a lot, especially in the US. And here we see that we don't have a lot of share in that SERP feear.
Yeah, so there's a 9% total market of feature snippets, and we are only having like, 0.01%. This is really not much of this market.
Exactly.
Okay.
We can have first competitors in the chart below, and then we can also check the whole market in US.
Okay, so for the whole keyword set of bestbuy.com, Amazon has got the most features, the most featured snippets from the e-commerce websites, I would say.
That's true.
Okay. Okay, Wikipedia has got a few more, but they are not directly competing with us, I would say.
Yeah, that's true, and we can just click them out.
Yeah. Okay, going down here, I already highlighted the featured snippet line. So this is the featured snippets over the history of the Google SERPs. We can see here our Google update where we lost. So looking at the May area, there's not much difference in the featured snippets here. But looking a few weeks before, around April 5th, or after April 5th, the amount of featured snippets has shrinked on the keyword set of bestbuy.com. So it's not bestbuy.com losing featured snippets, correct? Or is it Google?
For this one, what you're looking now, it's only for bestbuy.com. But
okay, cool.
Could be, we do have an overview on feature snippet in general. You can jump in the same section to the country overview. Then we can have a look on feature snippet in US and understand if that's the total trend, or is it something that Best Buy need to change.
Okay. Let me click out a few of these charts to make it more visible. Oh, okay, this is featured snippets, and we were at April 5th. I'll see here. It actually has risen a lot just 2 weeks before, and stays on a high level. So it's not that there are less featured snippets in the SERPs. It's that bestbuy.com has less featured snippets from April 5th on. So they probably lost some of these featured snippet answers, of this position 0 answers, to competitors.
That's completely correct. And that shows that they have a lot of place to optimize for that specific SERP feature.
Wow, okay. But not only for this one. I think if we go back, and we've seen it in the SEO visibility overview page first, videos is a major topic for the whole keyword set of bestbuy.com, and they're not even having not even 1% of the market here. So they've got a lot of areas to work on, actually.
They do. And considering that for videos, we sometimes have bigger competitors like YouTube. However, for images, for a website like bestbuy.com, I think they can also have a lot of room for optimization here.
Yeah, here they're actually doing better, but not on the whole part. Okay.
Yeah, they're still having quite a way against competitors.
Okay. Let me just have a quick look down to see the history of images. There it is. So they're always around those 5%, not growing, not losing too much.
Yeah.
This is something they should optimize, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We've been talking about rankings all the time.
Exactly. And I think we could, there is one new section that we could show next if we want to go back and look at the keywords, which is the search intent in the keyword organic ranking. And then we can have a look at a specific SERP page, which you were just showing.
Okay.
So if you jump to, yeah, exactly.
Now you wanted to go to, I'm sorry, to the organic search rankings. Here we go. And we are at bestbuy.com. You wanted to see the rankings list, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to jump back a little bit to the organic ranking to show a new feature which could be very interesting. So we looked at the other part in this page, like the visibility, but when you scroll down, you have here the keywords and a very nice feature. If you, Marcus, could click on the plus, you will see the search intent per keyword. When we can filter for a desired intent for Best Buy, which as e-commerce website, probably we would like to filter for transactional and see which keywords are performing best.
Okay, here we can see it on the right-hand side. There's a lot of navigational keywords, and if we look at the keywords, it's of course different variations of Best Buy. This makes sense, and navigational keywords are usually brand terms. Looking for a little further down, there's more informational keywords. There it's going to be about the credit card, about the Best Buy near me. So this is information where to look at, where to go. It's information about AirPods. This is actually surprising me, that AirPods is not transactional, but rather informational. If I'm thinking about it, maybe they want to see, or maybe the audience wants to see first, what is the difference between AirPods and other earphones?
It's true, yeah, or some benefits of using AirPods for any kind of information.
And then the next step would be transactional, to go for the cheapest price or whatever.
Yeah, important to say that this is only the primary intent. It doesn't mean that every search for AirPods would be informational, but more than 50% is informational. But it still could be also transactional.
Okay. So more than 50% are informational. So for the laptops area, this is the other way around. People looking for laptops, they probably want an overview page of different laptops, so they're already in the buying process, in the decision process. Okay, this is actually a really nice feature. Can we filter maybe for it and see not the navigational keywords here?
Yes, you can go to Advanced Filter and click on Search. Exactly.
So I only want the transactional ones to see where I can optimize in the keywords that bring me the money.
That's what you...
Okay, also informational keywords can also bring money, of course, because this is a little higher up in the funnel, but these keywords are more to the buying process directly.
Exactly.
Okay, laptops, controller for PS4, iPhone 6s. Yeah, this also makes sense.
Yeah, it is. And actually, from here, if there is a specific keyword that we want to analyze, maybe that we met before during the analysis we're doing, we can click on one keyword and jump to the keyword ranking page.
I'm sorry, here we go.
True. Yeah, that's the page, which will be the next step. That's a very cool page, actually, because it shows you exactly how the SERP looks like for that search keyword, with the option to travel back in time and see how it looked on another desired day. You can actually compare the results you saw before, for example, when we looked at the winner loser, and have a much deeper look to what happened there.
Okay, and let me just open the same page again. Here I'm looking at the search results page for Turntable from May 3rd, so just before the May core update. And if we're looking at the same SERP here, no, on the same keyword, I'm sorry, and looking at the 10th. Here we go. Let me scroll a little. So here on May 3rd, we were with bestbuy.com on first position, followed by related questions. This is actually something that most other tools don't have, showing you the SERP features within the SERP. This is really cool. Followed by 3 other organic rankings, followed by images and so on. But we remember that we lost the ranking for Turntable, right? So let's jump to the 10th of May. It's whathifi.com in first position now. No change with the related questions. Crutchfield following, images following, and followed by the other organic rankings. That's really something cool. You know, Maayan, I once had a client who lost really a lot of rankings from one day to the other, and there was no Google update around, and was only this one website losing all the rankings, and no other website in the same niche was losing. And you know what helped me finding out what happened? This tool. You know, when I had this, the change between the SERPs before and after was one thing. It was the news one box coming up. There was no news one box before for all those keywords that lost. And for all those keywords, there was a news one box later on. So this made me think about it and go back to Google and look at the news. And in the news, you can filter down by date. So I could look up what was happening at this time. And I wouldn't have looked up if I wouldn't have known there was a news feature just at this moment. And this really helped me to find out what happened there and what made Google think that there was a change in user intent for a certain period of time, and later it switched back. But if I wouldn't have had this, I wouldn't have found it. And the customer was really happy about it, to find out, not for the loss.
Exactly, to find out. And that's a really good example, because you as an SEO can actually find what happened, but sometimes also SEOs within companies, they don't have a really good way to show their managers, which are not SEOs, what happened. And if the managers see that the website is losing, it's very hard to come and say, hey, but we had all of those changes. But in that specific page, you can show exactly the change that happened and see if you can do something about it, and in case what.
Yeah,
that's really
exactly.
Cool.
Okay, want to jump to the next tool?
Sure.
Since we're talking about keywords, how about going to the keyword discovery, the research section?
Yes, let's do that. That's the next great tool for keyword analysis. So that's another tool that we just improved recently. That's a very powerful place to search for keywords, from the simple reason that you can have a search here for not only one keyword, but multiple. Here we can have a look at Turntable, maybe add something to it.
USB? Or maybe recording? It goes more to audio. Let's see.
Yeah, and within one tool, you have here a few ways to look for. So you have the word match, which give you the result for each keyword that you search for with other additions either before or after, but it doesn't have to contain both keywords. Then you have the phrase match. Phrase match means it will show you the results with the clusters for both keywords, but it can contain other keywords before, after, or in between. Then you have the exact match, which will show you exactly the way you looked for in the same order without anything in between. And the broad match, which actually is a new one, and it takes the roots of the keywords that you searched for and shows you other keywords that have the same root. In English, it could be something like plural. So, for example, it can show you turntables. But I think, Marcos, if you switch to German, you can show much more interesting examples for this.
Oh yeah, there's a good difference in the German language. Like in English, when you're making bigger words, you still have different words and they're just behind each other and there's a space in between. In German, we tend to blend them together. So when we're talking about Hund kaufen and we're going to broad match, we will of course find the plural version like Hunde, but we will also find something like Hundewelpen, which is dog puppies blended together into one word and find all these words, or Schäferhund, which is the shepherd dog. Yeah.
True. Yeah, so you can also sort the clusters on the left-hand side. You can sort it by keywords or search volume and see which clusters or which keyword sets are the strongest for that search keyword.
Okay, so we had the cluster of USB with 11,000 search volumes. So this is the search volume of all the keywords within the cluster of turntable USB combined, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, and we will go back to the by keyword. We will see that this USB cluster has about 500 keywords.
That's true.
You can click on here and get a whole list. This is so cool. Yeah. I like playing around with this a lot.
Yeah, sometimes you get surprising results there.
Yeah.
So when you want to create content and you don't you have some set of keywords, but you want to expand it, that's a really good tool to use for that.
Yeah, it also nice to see the SERP feature integrations here. So for the turntable, for example, I can see it shows images, it shows news, it shows related questions. So this is something that I might want to take into consideration when optimizing for this keyword, that I need to implement some good quality and nice images to look at the related questions, if I can answer them in my content, stuff like that.
True, and since that's one of the most important metrics here, we also added another filter. If you look on the top of the table for SERP feature, you can see which SERP features are available here in this list, and you can choose as many as you want and filter the table only for these specific SERP features.
So these are all the keywords that show related questions as well. We can see it here because it's here in the extension. Questions, 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 questions. Cool. But I do now know that there are questions, but I need some inspiration for answering them. I could go to the next feature, right?
That's true. You see there the question filter, and in case you want to know which questions the user are commonly asking for these keywords, you see easily with one click.
Yeah, so this is something like what is a turntable, how to use a turntable, where to buy a turntable, buying again, how does a turntable work? This is really good information keyword. And we can also see which keywords really bring the money, how to buy a turntable. So if you want to build a new affiliate website, go for this phrase probably.
Yeah, for many bloggers or content writers find it super useful. And if you're using other tools, it's maybe important to say that in this page you have some bridges to our other products. You see, Marcus, the checkbox near every question or keyword in the table. You can either jump, add those questions to your project if you want to start also tracking those keywords or questions. So that's one thing you can do. And on the right-hand side, you have this small chat icon. That's where you can add it to a brief in our content experience tool. So that's another bridge you can do easily.
Really nice. So there's a lot of new features in the suite. In case it was a little too fast for, let me stop the screen sharing first before I keep on talking. So this was a little walkthrough our new suite. If it was a little too fast for you, don't worry. You can still look up the video later on YouTube. If you are a client already, you can always go to the upper part of the suite and click on feedback to get in contact, ask questions, or contact your CSM, your customer success manager, to ask any question you want. They're there for you to answer them and help you out on how to use the software best for your SEO approaches. If you are not a customer yet and you are kind of interested into finding out more about the software, also go to our website and simply schedule an appointment to let somebody show you the software a little more slowly than we did today, to look into the features that you are really interested in. It was really fun going through the software with you, Maayan. I really enjoyed it, and we have to do it again.
Yeah, same here, and thanks for the great examples. It's always really good to hear from an SEO perspective how you guys are using the tool.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Okay, I can say goodbye now to the audience. Please come back, join us, get in contact with us, whatever you need for the next step in order to get accustomed with the software or with SEO, of course. Have a good time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.